Hi, good evening, doctor. Today I'm here to present about the Community Resource Development DCE 3411 subject assignment 1 here. My name is Gita Arjunan and my metric number is J46056 and I'm from Kuala Lumpur and currently I'm staying at Batu Cave, Selangor. Okay, doctor. Okay, this is my second slide. The title of my article that I have done my critique is Neoliberalization and Community Development Practices in Hong Kong. Okay, what is the objective of this article? This objective are to document the changes in community development practices and economic initiatives that have occurred in the ancient productivist welfare regime of Hong Kong, to explore factors affecting the decisions made by mainstream community development services in HK in terms of their service planning and implementation, to examine the influence of various factors related to the neoliberalization process, to testify to the significance of empirical research for gaining a proper understanding of the diverse form of neoliberalism. The last one is to view the multiple forms of neoliberalism as a set of contingent, rapidly developing ideas or policies. This is the 5 objectives that mentioned in this article, doctor. Okay. The second one is about the background of the project focused in the article. Okay, this is an overview of the community development activities made in the country of Hong Kong, which are related to the factors of the neoliberalization process, especially in the welfare regime. The past several decades, neoliberalism has been a dominant force for change in the policies and practices affecting many aspects of society across the world, and this same going to Hong Kong too. Okay, what is neoliberalism? Neoliberalism is the use of a free market economy without government regulation. The free market allows for the removal of all barriers to natural energy demand and supply, such as taxes and duties, or the provision of minimum wages. There's also criticism of the concept of neoliberalism and the argument that the free market is usually exploited by large enterprises due to the absence of minimum wages and social welfare to exploit the masses of for cheap labor, and this will give negative impact to the community. Okay, the continues from the background. The neoliberalization is a social process. Its study demands an exploration of the relative power of particular structurally positive agents of the state in shaping neoliberal policy as it emerges on the ground, and Hong Kong government adopted it to practice in their country community development. Some also give an effect and vice versa according to the respondents who answered following this matter. Some say it's good, some say it's bad for the economy and for the social regime. The community development action implemented in Hong Kong, especially in community development through social welfare regime. They are the first. Number 1 is the social policy provisions concerning health, housing, education, personal social services. And these programs receive remarkably higher levels of public resources than welfare programs such as personal social services and social security. The second one is the structuring of the community services and of the integrated family service centers. This strategy also forms neoliberalist agenda. After 2003 interim review of the Integrated Family Service Centers, the Social Welfare Department (SWD) proposed to merge the Centers for Community Development Services with the Centers for Family Services. Number 3 is the introduction of a bidding system for the allocation of funds to new services. HK Social Welfare Services have been implemented by NGOs with government subvention. Number 4 is concomitant with the surge of unemployment figures and the decline in economic growth. The government has actively promoted community mutual help through setting up social enterprises with support from this fund. Number 5 is community development services in HK have consisted mainly of neighborhood level community development projects, NLCDS, and community centers CCS. NGOs employ separate team of social workers to deliver these services. The number 6 is various government department and the urban renewal execution, which is quasi-governmental organization in charge of redevelopment of the urban core, have subsidized the project to ease their policy service implementation process through reaching out the communities. And for the last step is the welfare restriction has involved an emphasis on entrepreneurship within the social welfare sector during the past decade. This is for utilizing independent short-term fund for financing new welfare initiatives, which are, I believe, a further means to strengthen the institutional growth of the welfare sector. Okay. What is the important concept related to community development or HRD, human resource development, discussed in this article? Okay. This is the main point for this article. Okay. Number 1 is community development through social welfare. Okay. Human resource development process in this article is about development activities into the welfare of the community in Hong Kong. This social activity is to maintain welfare of the community development made to improve their living standards of the community. Community welfare resolves are a medium of community development that can convince residents to follow government instruction and also to accompany them. The number 2 is community development through new plans and strategies for the change to the economy and community. Hong Kong government has not given up in formulating their strategy by adopting various measures to make community development. Community development plans are very important in formulating new concepts to breathe new life into the community. The intended destruction is a planning and strategic move that gives new space to the community in Hong Kong. True, they are also those who have criticized Hong Kong community development plan under the influence of the neoliberalist agenda, but the government is not afraid to present their plans continuously. Without having change, it is difficult to achieve the objective of a goal. Significant changes are able to provide positive results, although in the early stage there will be constraints. Conclusion of the article. The conclusion from this article states that the Hong Kong government has done a variety of community development that is small to the existing element of neoliberalism. Over time, the Hong Kong government has expanded their community development practices. Although in beginning it did not provide high effectiveness, but in the term of improvement, strategic made after the year 2000, it has provided well-being to the community. This case study proves what happened in Hong Kong under the influence of neoliberalism in community development and help in building a proper understanding of the effects of neoliberalist change. Okay, what is the implication in Malaysia? Okay. First, negative perception among Malaysians to the government. Neoliberalism can give a negative perception of the development of the community, which is more economy oriented without taking into account the social well-being of the community here. Neoliberalism is also seen as a proponent of crony capitalism that relies on growth which is blamed on the increase in wealth. Even more than that, it emphasized the market as the backbone for restructuring social relations, not just the economic system, but the way to govern the social system. These concepts are unlikely to be accepted in Malaysia, where we are prioritize community more than anything because we are living in multiracial and peaceful community life here. The second implication is it is difficult to get cooperation and trust from the Malaysian community. If the development of the community based on neoliberalism is made, it will break the spirit of unity here where the social economy of the people here is often taken care of by the Malaysian government with equal rights. Malaysia also gives priority to the social welfare of the people rather than increase in economic rights. It is difficult to get cooperation and response from the community to provide feedback on community development programs implemented by the Malaysian government if it happens like in Hong Kong here. As a result, the people will lose trust in the policies made by the country in any aspect of development. That's all, Doctor. Thank you for me. Community development as a long history of innovation and learning from experience. Thank you, Doctor.